Okay, looks like we're live. Hi guys, Nicola here from Conscious Crypto Traders, and looks like Bitcoin's had a bit of a retracement. The whole market has had a little bit of a dumpty-dump. Is it permanent? Are we going lower? And that's what we're going to be looking at. We're also going to be looking at Chainlink as a potential for elongating profits, Monero, and also talk about NFTs, because what I want to focus on today is the bigger picture of where we are before we niche down into trade ideas for today, because there's a lot of talk out there on the one hand that we have already reached the market cycle top. This here up here at 68,000 is where some analysts are saying that was the end of the bull market. Now we're going into a bear market, and they are expecting a lower low soon, going down into the 20s, maybe even beyond. So I want to talk about that. Is that realistic? Or are we just in a retracement and we're heading into the completion of the bull market, going into a super cycle? Now, apologies, by the way, for not being here over the last couple of weeks. We've got so much going on, both at the retreat center here in Costa Rica, plus in the NFT project, and I just wasn't able to get to the live stream. But we have been doing videos daily on technical analysis and daily trading ideas in the Discord server. So if you're wanting more of our style of conscious crypto trading, and you're wanting to learn more advanced techniques, or if you're just beginners, get into the swing of the way we trade, then go over to the Discord server. The link is below. So is anybody watching and would like to say hi? We'd love to see you here, and say hello in the chat. That would be great. And we're going to get going. So in today's video, I want to look at big picture Bitcoin. Where are we going? Bull market, bear market. I want to look at niche down into where the trade is right now, since we have actually had a bit of a retracement. And then I want to look at Chainlink and Monero as a potential for you to start accumulating now, because there's some very exciting things that could be about to happen. Now, obviously, you've got to do your own research. I'm just an educator. I'm not a financial advisor, so you don't want to do anything on my advice. You want to use that information, go out there, do your own research, make your own decisions, and become independent. So let us have a look at this chart. This is the whole bull cycle, not quite from the beginning. The beginning was a bit down here a bit, where we started our ascent. And you can see these very clear green channels of support down at just under 28,000 and was it 28,800, all the way up to around about where we are right now at 44,850. And you can see that we traded inside this channel, so that we had resistance there. And then we've traded above it, touched it many times to confirm it as support. And at the moment, we've just dipped under that support level, which also happens to be the golden ratio of the entire market. If I was to do the swing high to swing low of this entire bull cycle, then that's where the golden ratio sits. So we are at a critical decision-making point in time. Now, as you know, conscious crypto traders, we like to look at the moon. In the Discord channel and in my private ninjas group, I've been warning that this new moon that we've just had was going to be a pivotal point for Bitcoin. At the top, by the way, this is moon phases, which is in trading view as an indicator. At the top in the aqua, those are new moons, and at the bottom, they are full moons. Now you can see quite consistently, whenever we get a new moon, somewhere the day before, day of, or day after, we get a bit of a dump. In an uptrend, it can be a dump, and then the next new moon is a higher high than the previous new moon. So here we go. We got a dump, we got a higher high, we got a dump, we got a higher high, and then we got a dump, we got a higher high. When we're in a downtrend, the new moon posts lower highs. So we got the new moon, we got a dump, it came up, posted a lower high. By the time we got to the next new moon, we dumped, we came up, we got a lower high from the last new moon, right? See how we go down? We started going up again in an upward trend. So we're posting higher highs on the new moon, started going down, we dumped on the new moon, and then kept going down, creating lower lows. Why is this important? Because I think that this new moon that we've just had to the full moon that is coming up on the 16th of April is a telltale sign as to whether or not we have already topped out for Bitcoin and that was the top of the market, or if there's a potential there for us to go and create a higher, another all-time high and head into a bull market. This is why it's so important. So if you have a look at the full moons, we reach the bottom and then we pump. And when we're in an upward trend, each full moon creates a higher low, right? So that's telling us that we're in a bull run. When we're in a downward trend, we get a full moon pump, but we come back down to create a lower low in a downward trend, so that we know that we're in a bear cycle, right? We're in a bear, but whether or not we're in the overall bigger 2-year bear market versus the 2-year bull market, approximately, that's the big question. Why do we really need to be paying attention to these moon phases? And by the way, if you're not into that, then I think that you are probably shooting yourself in the foot, because when you put this this indicator on your charts, you will see consistently there are moves and in the full moon and the new moon, and I think that it's well documented that human psychology drives the market, the price action. We're looking at human psychology, and the moon can affect our moods and it can affect our psychology. That's also well documented. So you put the two together, you see some reactions around those times. Now, if we call this line here a resistance line rather, for a ascending triangle, that's a trend reversal pattern. So we have been in a trend of going down, and now we could be reversing to the upside and have a trend going up. Now this breakout came back down, tested it as support right here, came back up, failed to create a higher high. So this could have been a fake out because we've actually broken out of this triangle a little too early. And the breakout point is going to be anywhere between the 15th of April to the 1st of May, since we've broken out a bit early, which means it is possible that we could come back down to test these lower levels at 40,500, maybe even the 50% Fibonacci level. And then obviously if we go down lower and we create a lower low from here, and even more so a lower low from here, then we could be saying this is the cycle top. We've already topped out for Bitcoin and we're not going to see higher prices. Now, if we come back down, bounce off, or even bounce off here, because this could, dipping down under this golden ratio could just be a fake down. We come back up, create a higher high. By the time we get to the full moon, this was the last full moon here. Remember I said, if we're in an upward trend, and it looks like we are, we create higher lows every time we have a full moon. And so full moon's coming up in 9 days. So over the next 9 days, we may just stay around in this zone before heading up, if indeed this is a trend reversal. I am leaning towards us having a trend reversal, just because 2 new moons, higher highs, 3 full moons, higher lows. So I will get that concept, or that idea will get invalidated, obviously, if we come below 37,570. But if we stay above that, we're looking good. And remember, full moons usually see the local bottom of the move with a reversal to the upside, and we get a pump. Look at this full moon. We got a pretty big pump, right? And as far as impulse waves are concerned, this could be impulse 1 coming back down to go up into impulse 3 of the Elliott wave theory. And impulse 3 is always a really big, huge run that could take us up to the all-time high or beyond. So really critical for the next 9 days to see which way we're going to go. I'm leaning towards the bullish scenario, but I am prepared for the bearish scenario. I got out of all of my altcoins here at the new moon because I knew we were going to dump, and I'm going to be buying back in as we find the bottom to bounce back up of my hodl position, just in case this was the bear market and we're getting that next top and we get that lower low. Does that make sense? Now, how low could we go if it is a bear market, or even if we have one more month left of a bull cycle, because April is usually a good month for Bitcoin. If we top out this month, how low are we going to go? So if we have a look at this chart here, where we've got, see this over here in 2013, we got a cycle top. That was the top of the market. When we came back down the following cycle from the top of the market in 2017, and we reached the very bottom before we started reversing back up again, we hit 3250. It was above the last cycle's top. So in other words, when we come down into the bottom of the bear market to reverse up, it's higher than the previous bull cycle's top, right? So if we follow that theory, this is the 2017 cycle top at around 19,895. That is where we're probably not going to go lower. So I know a number of analysts saying we're going to 3,000, we're going to 11,000, we're going to 15,000. And I'm going, well, if we do that, we are breaking with a pattern which is pretty significant. It's more likely that we could come, somewhere down around the late 20s. This could have already been the bottom here, or the early 20s, maybe even the 40s if we get that super cycle. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now let's look at the very real possibility of why analysts are saying that this could be the bit we could have already had a blow off top here, and now we're going into a bear cycle. Does it make sense? Oh, hey, somebody said, Robbie Carr said, I do want to learn. I've been on the Discord. Thanks so much for sharing. Hey, Regas, nice to see you back. Raz Negas, rather. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, guys, when you're in the Discord channel, invitation below if you're not in it, be sure to like the TA and ask questions, because I'm happy to help you and help get those questions answered. That's like every single day, except for Saturdays, somebody is in there helping you. Anyway, let's get back to my point. One of the analysts that I was watching had this theory that if you take the top of the previous cycle and you go to the bottom of the cycle going ahead, around about the top is where the next cycle will top out. So it didn't quite work out between 2013 and 2014. But if I was to go from here, from the previous top to the previous low, where we switched cycles, you would see that we have already surpassed the 2.6, sorry, the 3.6, not 2.6, the 3.6. And then if we go up, we may not go above 75,000 if we, according to that theory, or we could have already topped out, right? And this is why I'm saying we are at a critical point. And one of the reasons for that is that when we go into the retrograde season, that is normally when we see massive dumps. So if you have a look at this massive dump here, it was Mercury retrograde and then Saturn retrograde within 2 weeks of each other, dump, up, dump. So that signified a massive move to the downside of over 50%, right? And then here we had some retrograde activity with a Neptune retrograde, boom, we get the big dumps. So the first retrograde we need to be aware of is the 29th of April. I want you to watch, write that down. I think I might already have these in here. Do I have these in here? Let's see. They're definitely in the Discord server, all the dates to watch for big dumps. Looks like my lines have all been taken out. Every now and then TradingView just deletes all of your lines. I'm like, crazy. Yeah, you'll have to go back into our Discord server to get all of the dates of where we could get possible dumps, because for some reason TradingView's just deleted all of them. So I'm going to have to do them all over again. That's crazy. Yep, look, even that is completely deleted, which is my daily chart. Never mind. Oops. So let's go back over to here. That might be easier. So 29th of April, Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde. I think it's either 2nd to the 4th of June. So somewhere between the end of April to June, we could be seeing dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, something like that, right? But for now, let's niche down to go, where are we at? Are we going to go lower where we're at right now, or are we going to go higher? Now, remember, I've said when we get a new moon in an upward trend, we create a higher high to the new moon, which means by the middle of May, we would be higher than 48,585. And low, and whenever we get a full moon in an upward trend, we don't dump down below where the last full moon was, which was sitting at around 40, just over 40,000, right? So if this is an ascending triangle, it's possible we could come back down here and hit this. So let's niche in. Then I want to look at Chainlink, because Chainlink is really exciting if you're looking at wanting to make money when we do go into a bear cycle and putting all of your profits into something that's still going to be inflationary, or something, trading something that's going up rather than trading that's something that's going down. So on the 4 hourly, just want to get this up for you here. We have dipped down. We've been heavily rejected, so the bulls are fighting back, and now we're finding that golden ratio could potentially form resistance. If we come down, the next 4 hour candle, if we head up to confirm this is resistance, we come back down, we create a lower low at 43,274. We are probably going to drop all the way back down at the very least to 40,426. This is a downward channel, breaks to the downside more often than it breaks to the upside. We've broken down, retested that as support, right? Got rejected off of it. So in the next 9 days, we could slowly come back down to here, which happens to be the bottom of this ascending triangle, right? So in the next 9 days, we can expect lower prices. And obviously the big question is it going to go lower than 40,165 approximately, which means that we're not in an upward trend. We're in a downward trend still. So I would then go into the 1 hour, bring in the Ichimoku on the 4 hour, excuse me, let me do that first. So we've fallen into the cloud, right? But we're still in the green on the 4 hour. The RSI is starting to get into overbought territory, oversold territory. So we could start seeing action back to the upside. So now what we want to do is monitor it on the 1 hourly. When you're monitoring on the 1 hourly, we can see this is a potential bounce candle. And what the big test is going to be coming up to the golden ratio, 44,172. Do we get rejected off of that and then come back lower? If we get lower than 40 here, we come lower, a good short, in my opinion, would be to ride it, short it all the way back down to this level here, 40,580, something like that. That's a possibility. If we come back up and we break up above this, reconfirm this as support, then all we've done is faked down. We've faked down and we are heading back up. And then obviously that would be a long position, and you'd want to wait till it got up above this descending line here, created some support here. And then once we start heading up there, we could be riding it up to the top. This is a descending channel. Descending channels break to the upside more often than they break to the down. We've just broken to the downside, right? So we've gone against the odds. And that's why I'm looking at this going, this could be a fake down. So don't get gung-ho with your shorts, because this could reverse back up quite quickly back up into here. Ichimoku though, looking dumpy around the 7th, which is tomorrow. See this sharp here going down into the red, that's resistance coming in. So I think that in the next 24 hours, if we don't come up, Wednesday's usually a pump day, but obviously not today. Because when, you know, there's always the odds and there's the 20-80 sort of thing. And in this case, the 20% is playing out. But if in the next 24 hours we do come back up, then that dump may only just be coming back down to confirm and retrace support. So bottom line is, if you're looking at getting into a short position right now, I would hold your horses and wait for confirmation that we are getting rejected off of this golden ratio, and then we're coming back down. We've got volume for shorts, and if you look at the volume, we've actually got bulls coming in and buying the dips. And if any of you know Michael Saylor, who of MicroStrategies, whenever he buys Bitcoin, he usually buys it at a very strong support level. And I think he bought millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin at around the 46,000. So it's not, you know, it's not usual that he would buy when there's going to be a massive dump. At this, he bought basically at the bounce of support here. So it's a wait and see for that confirmation. That confirmation is really, really, really important. Now, go over to our Discord channel, Conscious Crypto Traders. Link is below. If you're watching this and the link has expired, then it's Conscious Crypto Traders. Head on over to our technical analysis that we do daily, because we're going to be monitoring this all throughout today, tomorrow, the next 9 days, as we are deciding whether or not we are turning into a bear market or we're turning up into a super cycle for Bitcoin. We'll be monitoring that really closely in Discord. So you want to make sure that you're checking in daily and saying hi and, you know, liking the TA, so I know that you're there. Awesome. So here is a really exciting thing about Chainlink, based on the theory that if we go from if we go from the cycle top to the bear market bottom, around about the 3.6 and 4.2, we start to see somewhere in there the cycle top of the next cycle, right? So this was our bull cycle, come into the bear cycle for Chainlink, and now we come into the bull cycle up here, and that was our all-time high, right? So then what we're going to do is we're going to draw this all-time high. We're going to come down to the low, and we can see that bang on between 3.6 and 4.2, we topped out, had a bit of a super cycle, went above, got parabolic here, came back down, but that is where the market closed, right? So now let's do this for the next cycle. All-time high, all-time low, topped out, went crazy parabolic, just above the 3.6, below the 4.2, right? So let's do this again. Top out, bottom in. If this is the bottom, that means that we're looking at a Chainlink is way undervalued, could go crazy and reach 161, 186, maybe go above that or then some, right? Now, here's what I want you to watch. This is where it gets really exciting. The time frame from the top here, 2017, to the top here, 2019, was a year and a half. Not 4 years like Bitcoin, right? The time frame from here, June 2019, to the next cycle top, August 2020, was a year and 2 months to get to the top. From 2020 through to 21, that was August through to May 2021, So August to May, not even a year before it topped out. Hey, are you getting the picture? So if we're going to come from the top here, if we're calling this the bottom, we're at the bottom, and within the year, possibly around September this year, we could see a parabolic run up and an all-time high for Chainlink, which extends beyond where Bitcoin is said to top out, which could Bitcoin, if Bitcoin isn't already topped out, I'm putting the top of the market somewhere around the end of April going into May, June, somewhere in those 4 or 5 weeks. Going to be watching like a hawk. So what this means is now is a good time to consider and do your research on Chainlink to get in for year-long cycles that are shortening rather than waiting 4 years. And that's good news because it means you can take some profits out of this cycle, put into Chainlink and ride that up during the bear market. So you can still trade and make a profit, and you can still hodl and make a profit in Chainlink within a year cycle instead of waiting 4 years, which is what we have to do for Bitcoin and a lot of altcoins. How exciting is that? Yoho live stream, awesome. Brilliant, guys. It's really awesome that you're happy that we're back. So that's really cool. So the other coin that I said that I was going to show you, which is similar, is Monero. Monero just keeps going up. Where are we? X. Yeah. We don't have many cycles of Monero to go from. On this chart at least anyway. This is a really big cup and handle. Look at that. And now we're going back up to break it. Monero being a privacy coin, which is something that you might want to consider looking at. You come here. And this is showing that if we go all the way up to the 3.6 and the 4.2, we're nowhere near the top of the market for Monero. So unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, if I was to do Ethereum, we've almost reached the top, or we've already reached the top. There are coins where we're nowhere near, undervalued, really good to look at, you know, switching up your strategy. So that means that if we were to call this the bottom, hang on a second, what was that? That was 2017 through to May 2021. So that's four years, slightly different cycle from Bitcoin. So if we were to go from here to there, let's see if we've got confluence. We do. We have a little bit of confluence around topping out at 1,523 to 1,935 from where we're at right now, which represents a 652 to 872% increase, which I don't think you're going to get for either Bitcoin or Ethereum. And this is one of the reasons why financial advisors will always tell you diversify and learn about the other coins that have cycles that aren't those elongated 4-month cycles, so that you're in, you're in the right coins at the right time to keep profits heading up. So you're not like during the bear cycle, you're not just sitting there having deflated crypto or waiting to buy back into the market. You're in coins that are still going. So we'll be following these coins a lot more now that we could be transitioning into the bear cycle, because we want to keep creating profits, right? For whatever purpose that you want to use them. So let's go back to Bitcoin and just see what it's doing. Yeah, see, look, this could be a bounce, guys. This is why you can't be gung-ho with your shorts. If you were shorting, right, best time to have shorted was to have found this here, but I wouldn't have done that because we had too much support that we could have bounced off of. But now that we've broken under, oops, right? We want to come back up, retest this as resistance, so we know this isn't a fake down, and we want it to come back down and enter if the price falls below that other wick, so that we're confirming that we're getting lower lows here on the shorter term time frame to justify shorting it down to those positions that I told you. Otherwise, what could happen is you enter a short, we bust through here, and we continue going up into here, and then all this has happened is a fake down, right? And look at this, we've got a green candle coming in on the 1 hour already. Bulls are pushing in, RSI's flipped up, look at that, it's flipped to the upside, which means that we could be seeing some upward action, and this is the critical point here at 44,157. So that's awesome. Guys, I got some great news. We've started a TikTok channel for our NFT project. And as you know, we're doing an NFT project. It's a photography, and Gary V of V and Friends, very, very big on photography being the next big thing in NFTs this year, 2022. So we think that we're on the cutting edge of something that could just go parabolic, but we are in the very, very early stages, getting that momentum and getting our following. So we'd really love for you to support us and follow us over at TikTok. The link for that channel is below, and we are offering 2 free NFTs for everyone minted on a community sale day. So if you go over to TikTok, you'll learn more about that, and I'm going to be making an announcement on the channel about that. You want to be part of the community. It'll be in our Discord server as well, so that you get some 3 really cool NFTs. And our whole concept is creating a paradigm shift around personal freedom, so people are free to pursue their purpose without restraint, other than morals, obviously, right? We don't believe freedom is the ability to do whatever you want and go out there and harm people. We believe freedom is personal responsibility and personal mastery, so that you are sovereign and you are free because you've got mastery over yourself. Therefore, you don't need outside control. So we teach a lot about that. We teach a lot about quantum activism, quantum physics in the NFT project. We're using beautiful photography to tell that story and to teach people. We'd love for you to be a part of it. At the very least, go join us on TikTok, and keep an eye out on Discord for how you can get 2 free NFTs. We would love for you to have those and be part of the community that's raising consciousness and making change on the planet in a positive way, making it more equal for people, and have everybody be able to pursue their dreams and their purpose. So that's it from me. If something dramatic happens in the market, I will post a TA video up here on YouTube. Otherwise, every day I'm posting videos and making comments and asking your questions in the Discord server, link below, Conscious Crypto Traders. And until we meet again, guys, most definitely at this time, when we're establishing whether or not we are turning up the trend to the upside for another parabolic run up, or whether we are turning to the bear market, which I believe we should know in the next couple of weeks. Trade consciously, be very careful, don't get greedy, take profits when we hit resistance or we hit support if you're in a short, and ride the waves. Bye guys, see you soon.